Hello everyone and welcome to the official launch of Sikimyii, the Raw of a Survivor magazine. I'm Wambui Ochieng and I am very excited to be here and introduce to you this great masterpiece, mistress piece that we have been working on for so long, and finally she's here. So before everything, before the lights went out, I had been talking, but now it seems like I have to go back and do this all over again because I did not save the video. The video could not save. I am so happy, extremely, tremendously excited to be here again to see this, to release this magazine, to share with you the work that went into it, to share with you the dreams and the hope that it aims to fulfill. So join me and let me take you there. Before that, let me go back to telling you about Sikimyii, who we are, and this journey that we have taken to come here. So, Sikimyii, we are a movement that whose goal, it's a feminist movement whose goal is to eradicate sexual violence and rape culture. So we do this in two ways. One, we create awareness and protest sexual violence. And two, we link victims to trauma services that can help them after sexual assault so that they can transition from victim to survivor. We've been doing this since 2018, and this is the first time that we're doing something very indulging, very intensive, and I am so happy that we decided to do this. So when I was a little girl, I always wanted to do something that would help, the situation that we have in the world about sexual violence, which is very rampant, by the way. Sexual violence is so rampant. And the thing is, so many people do not know that they have been sexually violated, that they were sexually assaulted at a certain time of their life. And it's so difficult to tell somebody something and for people to accept and radically accept and want to change that afterwards. So I really I went through sexual assault when I was a very little girl, and it had me confused, it had me traumatized. I did not know what to do, I did not know what had happened to me exactly. I just knew that something bad had happened to me. So when I grew up and I was in campus and I saw all this repeat themselves, I talked to women who had been sexually assaulted by strangers, by partners, by friends, and I realized this is something that was so widespread and no one was putting any focus on it. It was not on mainstream like politics will be. There isn't much of a platform for women to voice out these issues against sexual violence. So I decided to start it. I am glad that I was part of a Commonwealth conference that taught me how to engage my community in community dialogue and action and collective action. So when I started this, we were bringing people together. We were bringing just classmates, friends together to talk about these things, to talk about sex, to talk about gender, to talk about sexual orientation, gender identity, and to understand how sexual violence is prevails because of the silence that is so much along these issues, within these issues. So Sikimyii wants, one, it's a movement. Second, it's a choice. You choose not to remain silent in spite of everything that is happening in this world that makes you think that you should be silent and silence is the best option. No, silence only, it's a cancer that is going to kill us if we continue being in silence. If we continue not talking about sexual violence, at the end of the day, it's going to come and bite our butts. It's really detrimental for us to continue being silent. So 3, it remains, I will not be silent. So you see, it's a choice, it's a movement, it's an actual protest against the status quo when it comes to sexual violence. Believe me, when we say that 1 in every 3 women has been sexually assaulted, that is not the actual number on the ground, because so many of us have gone through the streets, walking the street, and somebody has spanked you. That is sexual assault, that is sexual harassment. It's just that no one ever knows that you can do something about it. There's no much awareness. There isn't focus on sexual violence. But if you read our Sexual Offences Act, which was enshrined in 206 on our constitution, you'll find that you can fight. There's no thing is, when you're sexually assaulted, you feel defeated. You feel like you're alone. You feel like no one else has ever gone through this. You feel like no one will believe you. No one can help you, but help is there. And that is why at Sikimyii, for one, we create awareness, and two, we link victims to post rape care, post assault services that can help them start the healing journey, because we need to heal so that we can start fighting. Okay, we can't pour from an empty cup. So we brought the Raw of a Survivor project to live. We birthed it in July. That's when we started. Me and my partner, we started thinking that we need to start the Rover project. We need to bring back Sikimyii, because in 2020 we kept quiet. We did not do much about it. We've been much work when it comes to Sikimyii. So we decided we have to relaunch it. We have to do something radical, something that will awaken people, because people are sleeping. We'll just, like, yo, stop. The world is moving too fast. So much is happening and no one is talking about it. So we decided that we were going to do 4 things. 1, we're going to register our organization, which we still haven't because we don't have the money, but we keep on doing the work. 2, we're going to have a website and social media pages. This is our website, and we have social media pages on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and Instagram, and we keep on being active. We've been active since we started the project. So we are educating you, we are protesting, we're doing the work, and check out our work, follow us, share with anyone that can help us, can help shed light, amplify this voice. That is great. So the next thing I've said, we wanted to do registration, a website, and social media platforms. So social media platforms and website tick. And then now we wanted a magazine because we needed to compile these experiences, these protests, these desires, these dreams, these case studies and everything together to bring one focus to one compiled actions, solutions, and just one compiled thing that creates awareness. So that's where we brought the Sikimyii magazine, and we started working on it. So let me show you. This is the magazine. Yeah, can you see it? It's really amazing. It's beautiful. I love how it looks. I love what is inside. I love that I learned how to design a magazine, and this was my first one. I have imbued my spirit, my fighting spirit, my roaring spirit, my hope spirit, my concern in this magazine issue. So it's not just a combination of art and literature. It's a spirit. It's hope. It's dreams. It's pain. It's everything together put in here so that we can change something in this world. And the 4th thing that we wanted to do was have a Sikimyii app, which we are still working on. Now, this magazine and the Sikimyii app have something in common. By selling this magazine, I wish we didn't have to sell this, by the way. If we had the money to continue working on our other project, like the registration and the app, we wouldn't have to sell it. But it's because we are at a point of desperation and need, and we need to have money to build our app so that we can start doing the work of linking victims to post trauma services that can help them start the healing journey, which is really important and should have been done it back in 2019, but still we did not have the idea. So right now is when we are starting to do this. So the magazine issue, every cent that we get from this magazine will be diverted into building our app. Our app just does that work of linking. So we will have our magazine, we'll have our website, we'll have our social media to do the first thing that Sikimyii does, which is create awareness and protest. And then we will have our app which will link victims. Now this app will link victims by just partnering with so many agencies that help people heal, help people go through the process after sexual assault. So we have therapists, we have doctors, we have lawyers, we have GBV organizations, we have the police, courts, every kind of person that can help a victim of sexual violence will be in this app. So we are formulating it. A great friend of mine is working on it. She's based in Uganda and she's working on it. And there's so many dreams. When I think about all the dreams that I have, everybody that comes in, I tell them about this dream of just, like roaring. It's it's exactly what this magazine and this movement is called. It's just a roar. It's a roar. It's a choice. It's Sikimyii. I'm not keeping quiet anymore. And this, when I think about it, when I see the future, I see the whole of Africa using this app, deciding Sikimyii, the whole of Africa deciding that sexual violence is something that we're going to get rid of. Women coming together and saying, you know what, we're going to work towards eradicating sexual violence, and we're going to work on it seriously. We are going to divert all the resources, all our spirits, all our energies to ensuring that the next generation of women will not have it as tough as we did. And I think that is exactly what feminists before us did, and that gives us a sense of duty and responsibility and appreciation, because we appreciate the work the former feminists did. They did great work, and now we have the responsibility to continue doing this great work so that eventually sexual violence can be a thing of the past. Maybe with the next generation, but with the time that we have here, we have to do something. So thus comes the magazine. There's never been any other magazine that focused on protesting and creating awareness of sexual violence. This is the first. Believe me, we Googled, we searched for such magazines, none. And so we found that there was a gap there, and we realized we had a responsibility to our society, to our women, to girls, to everyone in Africa to create a magazine, a compiled booklet that has solutions, stories, the spirit to fight, case studies, evidence, like we needed to do something. So this cover page is really amazing. I love how it looks. I love the rawness of emotions that you can feel while looking at this, the strength, the power, the vulnerability, everything that is in this cover represent exactly what we put inside the magazine issue. Now, there are different topics or heads that we put on the cover. For example, we are the evidence. This is the survivor stories that you will find, of which we used survivor stories so that we could tell the lived realities of survivors, of people who've gone through sexual assault, so that you can feel it from that first-hand view, that point of view that it happened to me, and so that you can feel it. It's a real lived experience. It's also we are the evidence. It's also to empower survivors. Once you've seen somebody has told their story, there is also it creates a ripple effect. It makes you want to tell your story too. It makes you realize that you can also tell your story. For example, when I was young, Eve D'Souza told her story in a magazine. You see, this is why I really love magazines, because they worked for me. Eve D'Souza told her story in a magazine. I read it and I realized, wow, it also happened to her. So also, you realize that you appreciate what she's done, and you have the responsibility and the duty to also do it for another person. So that is why I also put my story and many other survivor stories in this magazine issue, so that we can empower somebody else to speak, because it is only by speaking that we can actually get something done. The second thing we have is help fund our Sikimyii app, because by buying this magazine issue, already you have contributed to building our magazine issue. For the people who have donated to our Mchanga, you have already contributed to building our app, which is going to help link victims to sexual violence, help after sexual violence, so that they can start the healing journey. The app, I have explained the app, the steps, whatever it takes. We are in the process of creating it, although we can't really publish it right now. We are still in the process. So there is already the blueprint for the app, so you will find it inside the magazine in a certain special page. And then we have help is available after sexual assault. This is exactly what Sikimyii does. It's empowering survivors to know that you're not alone, you're not going through this alone, and there's help. There's so much help if only you take the chance and you make the choice of breaking that silence and reporting it and opening your heart to help, because you will get help. There's so many people that can help you, and you will find some of the toll free numbers in the magazine. You will find them, and you can find them everywhere. There's so many people who can help you. Just don't think you're alone when sexual violence happens to you. And then there's the shadow pandemic. This is during the COVID period, there's been a lot of rape cases and sexual violence cases that have been happening. This is the period where we had more than 150 girls get pregnant who are between the ages of 6 and 18. So we got a question, what is happening with COVID? Why is it that women's rights are being violated more during this COVID period? And when we understand that, we'll mitigate. And then there is the courage to fight. I wanted to talk about this first because they kind of build up where the evidence starts with survivor stories, and where the evidence starts with survivor stories and case studies, very comprehensive case studies, by the way, if you look at it. So that's where it starts, and then we go to help is available. Yes, you've been raped, you've accepted, radically accepted, there is help after that. And then the Sikimyii funds, part of our solution, the shadow pandemic, what happens, like the reflection of the times, because as an artist, as an activist, as somebody who lives consciously during this age, during this generation, you cannot avoid and ignore the influence that COVID has had on women rights. So the courage to fight. Now this is gassing you. This is gassing you up. This is transferring my spirit and everybody's spirit, everybody who contributed this magazine, their spirit of courage to you. People who have fought this battle before, because we're not the first ones. There have been other women who fought courageously for us to have the lives that we have. And so it is our responsibility to continue fighting so that the women after us can also fight, but at least to build mountains so that they can stand on those mountains. Some rupika out there, eh? So the courage to fight, you will find so many stories of courage. Women in Mukurukwajenga, where there's so much rape happening, and they have decided, they're all women who are 50 and above, who are actually learning taekwondo so that they can fend off rapists. I mean, we're not living in a society where rapists are afraid, and that's what we need to do. We need to make rapists afraid. There are grandparents who are 1 or 2 years old who are being raped by really young people, because the sense of morality and all that ancient stuff that we keep on referring to and we would like to come back to it is gone. It is gone. I mean, if we still had morality, we wouldn't have to fight rape culture. Eh? So this courage to fight, it is from me, it is from every person who wrote here, every person who contributed to bringing this movement and this project together. It is us just transferring our spirit of courage so that you can fight, because you need to fight. You need to fight. You need to fight this. You can't just sit around like nothing is happening. You can zombie through this world. And then my favorite section, it is called Purple Rain. Now, Purple Rain, Purple Rain, Purple Rain, Purple Rain. Purple Rain is it's a beautiful section, because women are beautiful, and in the beginning there is always that feeling, that body, that joy of being a woman. Even before sexual assault happened, there is that point that you feel beauty, you feel glorified, you feel exalted. You're a woman. It's just being a woman. It's beauty, it's spirit, it's guts, it's everything. It's just you, a woman. And so we we did a photographic section where we just showed that beauty of women, and it's in the Purple Rain section. So it's something that I am very, very, very happy when I look at. It's like, yeah, no, that's how we start. We start with, in the beginning, there was the body, the feeling of a woman's body, the feeling of joy because it is so light and free. And then there is injustice. And then your body gets crippled and you feel like you're a prisoner of your body. You become immobile and you cannot move and you cannot feel the body that you used to feel. But sexual assault and sexual violence is not your killer. It should not murder you. Rupi Kaur says the rape will tear you into half, but it will not kill you. Any kind of sexual assault, I know it will bring you to your knees because I have experienced it. I know what it is like. So you feel like shit. You feel like you're never going to get out of the ground. You feel like nothing is ever going to work for you. But help is available after sexual assault. There is help. There are people who can help you, and you can rebring your body again. You can move your body against this injustice. Crawl if you have to until you stand up and you say, you know what, I am a woman and I am going to go through this and my God is going to help me go through this. And you go back to that sense of being a woman once again. And it's a beautiful feeling. And it takes a long time. It can take longer than you expect it to take. But eventually you will, if you fight hard enough for your body, because this body is special. It's our temple. It's our everything. It's in it that our spirits live. So, yeah, Purple Rain, bringing back that womanly feeling, and it is possible that you feel like your dignity is crushed, that you're so humiliated that you can't get past through that you will never feel the way you used to feel again. But then there is restoring dignity, and you can get your dignity back. And this is I guess this is what I really want people to feel, that it's not over, that you have a journey to go through, then you will go through it. And once you're on the other side, you do not forget. You also help other people to get through that road, which is tough, but then you have to. Life is not easy. You have to. All right. That was so emotional. Oh, whew. You know, this is exactly what I was feeling when I was editing this issue, designing an issue for the first time. I felt I was putting my spirit. Sometimes I was really sad because they are very sad stories. The survivor stories that you find here, they are extremely sad. It is the kind of thing that make you take a breakfast and then you go away, take a 2 days break away from it, which has been the thing that I've been doing as I try to cope. I remember last year when I started some research, which is still pending, and I started reading these survivor stories, cases, like really terrible cases of sexual assault. I almost crashed. I actually crashed. You know what? Let's just be honest. I crashed. And I said I won't do it again. I'll never, ever, ever come back to looking at stories of 2-year-old, 18-month-old babies raped to death. But somehow I got the strength and I was able to do this. And I'm glad. I mean, I know every page of this magazine issue. I know what it's about. I know the pictures that we used. I know the messages that we put in there, the stories. I know them by heart. I read them and I felt them. I felt all the survivor stories that you sent. And I really want to thank everybody who sent a story detailing their sexual assault. I want to thank you so much for having the courage, because it is this courage that will help other people have the courage to do the same, so that we can find solutions to these issues, these sexual violence issues. Whew. So I want to read you. I want to show you, tease you a bit, and read you our welcome message. I know this is beautiful. I love this. page. In the beginning, there was the body, the feeling of a woman's body, the feeling of joy because she's so light and free. That is the woman feeling in us. And then there is a welcome message which I wrote. Let me read it for you. This is the first complete magazine issue dedicated to the eradication of sexual violence. It is with great appreciation and responsibility that we embarked on this journey. We borrowed greatly from art and literature to help us to tell this story that is usually shunned from mainstream media. In this magazine, you will find the stories of survivors of sexual violence, solutions we have proposed, and the courage to fight for a better future for all humanity. That is beautiful. I wrote it. I am good at words. So the photography for this was done by a woman called Kate Wambui Karaoke. I am so grateful to her because, first of all, she did it for free. We did not have money to pay anyone, and she did it, and she was proud to be part of this journey, and I am proud that she was there and helped us to create this photographic protest. And then the design is by me, yours truly, Wambui Ochieng, edited by me again, Wambui Ochieng. And the models, every person that you will see here, they are Karen Chepkirui, who is a friend of mine I met on Instagram, and she helped with this movement. Modhoni Karaoke, my partner. Eunice Njoki, a friend of mine. And published by Sikimyii. And special thanks to Njeri Mbogwa. Njeri Mbogwa is a partner who has been working with me on the movement, and she's been really true and helpful, so helpful in terms of motivations, in terms of sending stories, in terms of helping in social media, in terms of going into her pocket to fund things that like promoting, and just I am so grateful to Njeri Mbogwa for the help and everything. Thank you, S. And Modhoni Karaoke, who's been my partner since 2018, and Judica L. Irakoe, who dedicated a Twitter thread to just going through every country in Africa to show how sexual violence is in all of these countries. And we have used her research, and I am so grateful that she did that research. Now, these are the sections. Let's go to the next page. So in the beginning, there was the body, the feeling of a woman's body, the feeling of joy because it is so light and free. Then there was injustice, so sharp that you feel it with your entire body. You become a prisoner of your body. Then now we have the sections. The sections, some of the stories, some of the articles you'll find. There's one, the sexual violence, an African problem, silence of the lambs. It's under that section. We call it the silence of the lambs because we are poetic. And then there is Pray in a Man's World. It's a story written in the magazine. You'll find it. There is a survivor story. My big brother touched me. He said it was normal. You will read these stories in the magazine issue. I'm just going to highlight them. The Sikimyii app, what it is and how to use it, we have detailed there. Then there is a story, a poem, Roa, Nothing in This World Will Ever Break My Heart Again, written by me. Steps to take after sexual assault and the help you can get, you will find it there. I am healing slowly and I will get there, for a story called First Time. And then there is the section that I love, Purple Rain. In the beginning, there was the feeling of being a woman. There was a feeling of a woman's body, the feeling of joy because it is so light and free. We go back there. So you see, it's cyclical. Thing about being us women, we are cyclical. We are cyclical like the earth. We are cyclical in our thoughts. We are cyclical in the way that we do things. And that is exactly what I wanted to show in this magazine, the cyclical nature of women and the cyclical nature of our lives and how we put that into our work and into our art, and it reflects us. So, yeah. I've told you that purchasing this issue will help us a big deal into funding our app, which I really hope that you will help us with, and it is really vital. So kindly help us. Yeah. I'd like to thank every person who contributed to this. I'd like to thank again Jerry Mbogwa, Muthoni, anybody who sent a message, Faith Faith Muthoka, who also helped a great deal. Anybody who has helped in this production has been great, and I really hope that our work will be appreciated and that we can do more. From now on, we've realized as we were working that it is not just about bringing a magazine and going. It is constantly and continuously doing this work. So from next month, which is next year, which is January, we are going to dedicate our resources, our energies to continue creating awareness of sexual violence, protesting and showing you how you can be part of a movement that will help heal the world. If you want to be part of Sikimyii in any way, feel free to join, feel free to talk to me, but you have to be working. You have to be doing something. It's not just a matter of saying I'm in a movement. You have to show something, some work that will help people. And now I guess I will read you the parting shot. Can you see it? It's really beautiful, I know. So let's just go to the last page. Yeah, you see, this is part of the Purple Rain section. The women are so beautiful. This is how women should be. That's how it feels to be a woman. Beautiful. So, let me read you the parting shot, and then I'll give you details on how to purchase the magazine and others. So, how are you reading this? I say this will be the last thing I write when I completed designing and editing this magazine. It has been an amazing time. Reading and compiling these experiences, infusing my spirit of courage into it, and mostly hoping that this magazine will be a step in changing the lives of women in Kenya and around Africa. I have so much hope as I write this, and I am hoping that I get to look back to this when I'm in my 40s, because I will be so proud to see that the stand that me, my friends, and other fighters took. This magazine is not just for art's sake. While art and literature brought us this far, the dream is to see a society free of sexual violence. This is a show of hope. This is a courageous fight. This is the fight for life. This is purpose to leave a better society for the next generation of women. If you have purchased this magazine, it means you have funded our next big step, which is building an app to help victims of sexual violence and rape report these cases and get the help and justice they need. So thank you. Consider yourself a heroine. This magazine issue is dedicated to all victims and survivors of sexual violence. From me, forever the roaring leopard, Wambui, Ochieng. If you want to buy this magazine issue, if you want to support Sikimyii in any way, I'll be linking details before the end of tonight. By tonight you will have details on how to purchase the magazine, where to purchase it, and how you can help Sikimyii more. It's been an honor, like a real great honor, like really great honor to release this magazine, to show you the work, to tell you my spirit, to show you my spirit, to transfer to you these things that I feel. It's been really beautiful. It's been amazing to work on this. It is still going to be amazing to continue doing the work, more work from now on until the day I die. So thank you, and be a heroine. Purchase this issue so that we can build our app. Thank you for joining this live. Yeah, have a nice evening. Bye. How do I end? Oh.